Hello, my name is Perry Gunderman. I'm a consultant with Codabears, and today I'm going to be showing you a bit about the Problem Steps Recorder. The Problem Steps Recorder, or Steps Recorder, or PSR, as it's referred to, is a tool that comes with the Windows 7 and later versions of Windows that allows you to easily and quickly record your steps. Here, I've opened up the Problem Steps Recorder by putting PSR into the search in the Start menu, and now I'm just about ready to get started. It's a really easy tool to use, so when I'm ready, I just click Start, and I'll want to minimize it. Now, I'll double click on my Epicor icon, and as you noticed, a little red dot appeared when I did that. That means that it took a screenshot of what I was doing. Now, I'm going to log in, hit Enter. And once we get logged in, we'll go ahead and create a basic sales order so we have something to document. Now this tool is very useful for consultants like myself that when a user encounters an issue in Epicor that we don't know how to replicate, they can go ahead and do a screen recording using this technology, and it will allow us to see step by step what they did in order to replicate the issue. They'll just turn it on before they get started trying to do whatever they got stuck on, and then stop recording once they find the error. Then, once we have the file, we can easily review it. So here, I'm just going to really quickly create a sales order. And now keep in mind, every time that little red dot appears, it's taking a screenshot of where I currently am. And I've added a new line, so I'll switch over to there, grab a part. Now I'm going to intentionally forget to give it a unit price. So let's give it an order quantity of 10, and then I'll erase all of that. Now that I've created the part, I've saved it. I'm going to go to my actions, and I'm going to close my order. With that done, I'll move the screen around a little bit. Close it, close Epicor, and I'm going to write a little note to myself. We'll save to our desktop. And now I've done everything I needed to do, so I'm going to open up the Problem Steps Recorder, click Stop Record, and I will be able to save it. So I'll save it to my desktop as example. Now this creates a zip folder that we can open up. And when we open this up, it's an HTML document. And what this means is it can be opened inside of any Internet Explorer window. Now you might notice here there's no screenshot was saved for this problem step. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. But here we can see that we have user left double-clicked on dev 100 700 environment. So it says that I double-clicked on that icon to start up Epicor, which I did, and I dragged into the start of Epicor, drag end in Epicor, because I highlighted the manager field and then deleted it. I hit the backspace, entered some text. As you can see, it omitted what that I typed in manager. Instead, it just tells me that the next major keystroke I made was tab, then information was omitted for the password, and then tab again for enter. So you have no security risk here because it will take out any characters entered, and instead just tell you when you insert things like backspace, tab, or enter. Then it goes further into Epicor, left click on the toolbar, and continues through. Here we see that the screenshots start up again. Now they look a little fuzzy, but you can click on them to zoom in. Now I have a better picture of what's going on and where I'm at. I can zoom in again, and I can click. I can go back to the main page and continue down through my steps. As you can see, when I closed the window, it closed it, went back to this desktop, and then followed as I opened up Notepad. Saved my Notepad file, and then went back to the desktop to stop the recording. Each time, the little green outline here shows us where we were focused at that point in time when we clicked. Then at the bottom here, we have a detailed report of everything that we did, including the config file that was used in our epicor.exe icon that I used on the desktop. This can be useful to make sure that somebody was clicking on the correct environment. It doesn't include your password and username, as we can see with these ellipses here. It once again omitted them. So here's our very detailed report. We also have the option at the top here in order to view it as a slideshow. So click. Unfortunately no screenshot, but the information is showing up here. Now again, I said there's no screenshots, and I would tell you why that is. So let's exit the slideshow, close our Internet Explorer, and go back into our Problem Step Recorder. The reason is you will have to go to the settings and change this number of recent screenshots to record. Now there's only 25 of them, so we'll start with the last 25. And then anything that overwrites that, it'll replace but not keep the earlier ones. So usually it's best to start with, let's say, 100 if you know it's going to be a longer procedure. Now the problem is there is no way to save these settings, so you click OK, and if you close the PSR, the next time you open it, it's not going to be there. That is kind of a minor issue I have with this program. I would like that it actually keep a full 100 whenever I put it in, or whatever amount I put in. But, oh well, it's only so much you can do with free technology. Now you can also change it so you don't capture screenshots. But I want my screenshots. That's the whole reason I'm using the PSR, make it easier for people to follow. Now let's do one more quick example. I'll click Start Record, open up the Dev 100/700 environment, and put in my manager password. Now let's say I wanted people to know that that's what I put in. Well, I'll click Add Comment, highlight the box here, and I'll put in a note. Now, when I go ahead and stop the recording, we'll say this is example 2. And when we open it up, we can see here it grabbed a custom screenshot that I defined and added my user comment in here. Now one thing to keep in mind is that this technology is basically recording all of your screens at all times. So on this computer I only have one screen, but if you have 2 or 3 screens, it'll also capture those, offsetting them as needed. This is not the best when trying to get detailed information out of a recording, so I recommend when you're using the PSR tool, disable your external monitors. You can do that either by directly disconnecting them, which is the hard way to do it, or you can go personal screen resolution by right-clicking on the desktop and just choose to duplicate this display. That will make it so only one monitor is shown, one view, and the PSR will capture just that one. Then once you're done, just change it back to extend. That should give you a good idea of how the PSR works and some of its uses. We use it for troubleshooting, but a lot of people also use it to make quick user guides for their employees. So you can show them how to enter a sales order by simply starting up the PSR, creating a sales order, and then clicking stop. Now you've easily created a user guide for your employees in the future. Hopefully you found this useful.